Good morning and welcome to Life University's Life Church. This is your life host, the Reverend Dr. Donicia Palmer Wallace. I am so glad that you could join with me this morning. This is, of course, your global spiritual community portal. Today's subject is two powerful words, your access to victory. Two power-packed words, access and victory. Victory speaks to us about overcoming an antagonistic thing or person. Victory speaks to us of an achievement of mastery. Now, that doesn't mean mastery over, that means enslaving something or someone, but mastery in our own lives and situations and how we cope. Victory speaks to us about a success in a struggle, or victory speaks to us as we endeavor against all odds of seeming difficulties. In other words, victory speaks to us of triumph. Victory speaks to us of winning. Victory speaks to us of having a positive result or a favored result. It's speaking to us about conquering, speaking to us about overcoming. Oh, isn't it amazing? So victory then accompanying victory is that feeling, those strong feelings of elation. And this is what life wants to bring for us this coming week, those strong feelings of elation. Do you know when you're low, when you have low feelings, then your actions is very low too. So we are not achieving the things that we would like to achieve or that we need to achieve. Because we are feeling so low, there is just no get up and go in us. We just don't seem to be able to endeavor against all odds because we see the difficulties as stumbling blocks in the way. But I would like you to know, life would like you to know this day and this coming week that you can have access to victory. You said, tell me, what is it? What is my access to victory? How can I access victory? Do you know we use the word access is a very powerful word every day? How? You said, do I? Yes, you do. To get into your phone, you need to log in. That login is your access. And it's not straightforward, is it? It's asking you normally for a username, and it's then you get your username, and then it asks you what? For your password. But before you had the username and the password, you had to do something. And before you even get to the login for the access, you had to do something. You had to set it up. And so today, life is setting you up. What is life setting you up for? Life is setting you up for victory. Life is creating today through these Fresh Thought LifeWords an access to victory. Victory to what? Victory to yours. Victory means success. Victory to joy. Victory to love. Everlasting love. Agape love. Unconditional love. To peace. That peace that passes all understanding. Victory to the answers. So many has been waiting on an answer for years, looking here, looking there, doing this maths and that math, and no answer. But today, life is encouraging each and every one of us that we can have access to victory. The first thing you need to know then, I know that you're saying, get on with it. I need to know, how can I access victory? What is my access? The first thing you need to know is that you are allowed access. That's the first thing to do. You have a VIP pass. So remember I said first, before you can log in, before you have even create a username and to get a password, You need to set it up. You need to set it up. You need to have a mindset, okay? A mindset. That's the equivalent of setting up. You say you're going to set up an account. Set up an account for yourself. Have you been making an account of your life, your deeds, your words, your actions, your thoughts? That's an account. Let's set it. We can reset. In fact, I think most of us need to reset our minds, quieten our mind, reset it. And then we get a username. Still on the topic, if you've joined me for the first time, this is your life host, Reverend Dr. Donicia Palmer Wallace, and welcome to Life University's Life Church, your global spiritual community portal. Today's subject, your access to victory. So, we are now setting up the access to victory, the determination, the mindset that you're allowed access. Okay, so that's the setup. You are allowed access. Access to all your dreams coming true. I'm going to explain what that means in a moment. So, you're going to create a username. What is your username? Access to victory. Could it be victor? Could it be overcomer? It is how we perceive ourselves. What is the name by which you call yourself? Now, don't tell me it is Donicia. Don't tell me it's Joanne. Don't tell me it's Joel. Don't tell me it's Marcia. Come on. We got to find a username that carries a value for who and what you are meant to be. So, is it any wonder that we're trying to log into life to get the experiences so that we might express the things that we so desperately want to express? But we've been using the wrong username. And each time as we try this and we've tried that, we've gone this way, we've gone that way, it hasn't worked. Is it any wonder? Because we've been putting in the wrong username. Victor, overcomer, successful person, joyful person, liberated person. Come on. So most of us have been just knowing ourselves by the color of our skin, by the size of our bank account, by our age, by our weight. Come on. What's your username today? Set your username. And the first thing to set up your account, remember your account. What is your account? Your account is joy, peace, love. Oh, more than enough. Abundance, peace, love, wisdom. Life itself, to experience life itself and all its magnificence. Oh, to reap the reward of delight in every breath. Isn't it awesome? A blissful life. Let me tell you the meaning of bliss. It is the bubbling over of joy. Bliss. The bubbling over of joy. Is that bubble? You know when something begins to bubble because it's at the boiling point? Oh, life calls you to that place of bliss. You can access it today by coming to that realization that you're allowed access. Okay? So just knowing that, then you set a name for yourself. A name that's not just a title, but a name that you're going to live in, a name that's going to come alive. Because you live in a name. There is power in that name. Hallelujah. Okay? Power in the name to heal, power in the name to save, deliver, and set free. Very important. So you have chosen that name. Hallelujah. You've chosen that powerful name, and now you need to set a password. And that is where we fall down by what we are saying. Password here represents what you are saying, what is coming out of your mouth. What is your password? Oh, let's not condemn ourselves today. Set a password. Victor, victory, peace, joy. those things that come out of our mouth, those things that feed our minds, those things that we allow ourselves to feel, gives us the access to victory. So no longer will your access be denied, but it will be allowed because you have the right credential. What's your credential? You know that you are allowed to have access to victory because life is telling you so today. You need the right code in order to enter. So the right code, listen to this and write it down. The right code, oh yes, I can see you getting your pens. That's good. The right code is this: the right to answer. The THE, right, RIGHT, TOENTER. You've got to get that scripted in your soul, okay? Not in your mind, because so many things are filling your mind and it's all getting cluttered up. But when you encode this and script this in your soul, you're encrypting it, okay? So that when temptation comes, when trial comes, when antagonism comes, when disappointment comes, when rejection comes, you are going deep. When rejection comes, when antagonistic comes, when illness comes, oh, when you see the big nose and all around you, you can then it drives you to go deep. These things come not to get you insane and angry and sad, but it gets you to go deep, because when you go deep, the deeper you go, the higher things are rising for you. You have the VIP pass today. You have the VIP pass. You have the key for the door. Your access is your liberty, and your liberty is the knowledge that you have the right to enter, that you have access. You've got to see this. Once you get into this, oh, there is no ends. You see, sometimes what we've got to do, you've got to hack into the system. How do you hack into the system? Maybe you don't have the right words. Maybe you don't quite understand what I mean, but you've got to hack. How do you hack the system? The system is magnificence. The system is delight. The system is the isness of goodness right now in this present moment, every single second, every single present moment. Joy, unspeakable wonderfulness, health. Ah, access is wonderful. Do you know why people get married? Or why they should get married? Many people get married for different reasons. I think that most people don't even know why they get married. But marriage and that union is about communion. It's about having access to someone. Okay? You're having that access to someone. And if you are in a relationship and you can't have access, then that's not, just work on that, okay? We're not going to go into feeling guilt and everything. But what we want to do, we want to understand that we have access to victory. So that access is coming into a place where you are able to approach, where you're able to enter, where you're able to speak with or use when you desire to do so. Life is available for you to speak to. How often do you speak to yourself? When I talk about life, I'm not talking about something outside of yourself. I'm talking about life that lives you. The life that lives you is the life of God. The life that lives you is it. That's it. It is the fullness. It is the beauty. It is the absolute. It's dynamic. It's wonderful. It's sublime. It's amazing. It's majestic. It's powerful. It's poised. It is the height and it is the depth. It is the width. It is the allness of the isness in this now moment. It is divine presence that invites you to talk. And so sometimes we need to self-talk. We need, that access. You can have access. Sometimes we don't even talk to ourselves. We're not even available to ourselves. Oh, today, my friend, as soon as this video is over and you finish listening, and even if just while you're listening, go in front of a mirror and look at yourself and begin to say to yourself, oh, Jane, or whatever your name is, fill that gap in there and says, I love you. You are wonderful. Oh, today you're in. You're in victory because now you've made your access. Because why? You knew that you were allowed access. And what did you know that you're allowed access? Because you have the right to that access. Oh, we must remove. You see, our self-talk and our new mindset, remove the word difficult. Get that out. Get that out of your vocabulary. The knowing that you have access to victory removes that language of difficult. In its place, begin to use the word ease. Oh, it's easy. Ease. Yeah, easy, man. See somebody say, easy, man. You see, access gives us opportunity to look at something. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You know, we've been looking at what we think we want, always wanting, always wanting. The minute you say, I want this, and you really have your intention on this, yeah, I'm going to teach you something today. Oh, this is what I want. And you're going at it from the place of wanting. You're going to get more of what you're looking at because you're looking at, this is what I want. I want, I want, I want. So what are you saying? I want more wants. But there is a scripture that says, my life, God, is the one who is my provider. I'm provided for, I shall not want. Deals with the talk, the self-talk. Self-talk is very important. And so these two powerful words. One deals with the state or condition. Access talks about the state, that accessible state, the condition. And victory speaks to us about emotion. So when the condition and the emotion merges, then what emerges is success. It is victory. Oh, my dear, wonderful friend today, your success, your access is your leverage. Your leverage to victory. Oh, one of the things you must know as you're coding and putting in is that there is a opportunity lined approach to a premium lifestyle, an opportunity lined approach to a premium lifestyle. Think about a great house and a wonderful tree lined approach to that house. How beautiful. I often have this dream, something I call Sellyhood Manor Estate. And as you come through that wonderful electric gate, you come up to this tree-lined avenue of wonderful trees and pastures leading up to this great house. But today, the house is your body, your mind, your house. That great house is you. And in your soul is an opportunity lined approach so that you might express a premium lifestyle of joy, of peace, of love, of having answers, all the answers you need ready, all the supply, it is there inside of you. It's already earmarked, but it's how you approach it. It's knowing that you can approach the state of being approachable. Always looking into the distant future. Your access is right here. It's near. There's possibility to all things. In this, there is extra space here. There is extra space here. You need to know that. Opportunity to victory is right here. There's extra space. You're allowed. It's amazing. There is gain. Access talks to us about gain. That's our Lord to utter we're leveraging today. Here it is. To see, to know, to feel, and to speak it. Speak it. If you can't see that victory is already earmarked in you, then it's no good going to work 7 days a week, 3 jobs. It is no good thinking that money is going to make you successful. You've got to see yourself, your innermost being, as your success. And your innermost being will attract to you like kind. What is on your soul? What are the words? What is the words of life that resonate on the inside of you that is attracting those things that it needs to fulfill its premium lifestyle through you as you've got to see it. When you see it, it stirs something so that you know it. You see, when you really know something, you begin to feel it. You begin to feel it, feelings. And when you feel it, you cannot help but speak it. You see, most people are gabbing. They're speaking what they're not feeling. They think that by saying the affirmations, it will cause them to feel it. But you've got to feel it. You've got to feel your way into it. This is the new style of victory, okay? No longer the old type of victory where you're beating yourself. Years ago, you would have people with literal straps beating their back. You would have people that's going for 3 years without speaking. You would have people that's going starving themselves. You would have people, that's doing all type of manual labor to get into that place of victory, not realizing that the victory is encoded within their being. Do you know why victory eventually came for these people? Is that because they were struggling so much, and at one point or the other, even they're not aware of it, they took a breath and gave way to life, and life just was waiting for that place to make expression, and there the victory came. And they did not attribute it to life itself. They didn't attribute it to joy itself. They attributed it to the heart pressure. Well, I'm going to correct that today. Life is correcting that today. It's saying that you are privileged. You are privileged. Not because you have a white skin or a black skin or a yellow skin. Not because you have X amount in the bank. Not because you are this weight or that weight or this height or that height. Not because you live in this location or that location. You are privileged because you're allowed access to victory, because victory is in the very breath that you breathe. Is life itself that lives you. The God that lives you is your privilege. The knowing of this will draw you to you all that you need for a premium lifestyle. A premium lifestyle is health, peace, joy, abundance, kindness, goodness, opportunity. Oh, it's amazing. But it's got to be on your soul. You've got to know it. You've got to have it inscribed in your soul. I end with this saying. Job was a man found in scripture, and he went through a hard time. He was down to his last cent. In fact, no, he didn't have anything. Everything. He was so wealthy. He had a beautiful wife. He had some beautiful children. And disaster came upon him. His wife even came and said, why don't you just curse God? Give up. Just don't bother with trying to be honest. Let's do some deals and some dirty deals and win back our money. But he pressed through. His friends came. They left him. They thought he was mad. And then he came to that conclusion when his friends was pestering him and pestering him. Who do you think you are? Don't you think we go through a lot of problems? Why? We have tried different stuff to make stuff work. There is things. Why do you have to be such a goody goody? And this is what Job says. He says, I know. I know. On the inside of me. Look, on the outside, now I have sores. I don't have any money. My wife is so horrible. My children, look what they're doing. They're involved in drugs or whatever. But I know on the inside that I'm a good dad. I know on the inside that I'm a good man. I know on the inside that my Redeemer lives. And who is that Redeemer? What is that Redeemer? That Redeemer is not some entity in a sky. That Redeemer is the soul. What is on your soul? What is the words on your soul? Who are you? What are you at the core? He says, I know my Redeemer. My Redeemer is my words. The word of life is my Redeemer. The Spirit that lives you, the Redeemer. Today, life wants to redeem you. And when he came and he said those words, he felt it, he knew it, he saw it. Even though there was no money, he saw himself in the glory and the abundance he refused to give him. And he said, I know my Redeemer lives. And in saying those words, not only did he say out his mouth, he said it with his thoughts, he said it with his emotion, that he created a condition. And so we're going to have to allow the emotions that we generate to create a condition, a state of being, a state of being. Access speaks to us. It's a state, you see. Even as victory is an emotion, access is a state. It's a state of being allowed in. It's a space, it's a state of acceptance. Are you accepting yourself? It's a state of liberty. It's a state of being able to communicate with life. It's a state of being approachable. It's a state of ease. It's a state of knowing that life is near you, so near as your breath. So in the state, even in the state, it's very parallel to our natural state. You know, a state is a territory with its own government and borders in a larger country. So in the same way, you are breathing, breath, and life that is part of everything, but you must be your own government. You must become able to govern, right? Govern. That is the access. Govern what you think, what you say, what you feel, and what you do, and what you speak. And so Job said, I know my Redeemer liveth. And after his words, everything was restored. Everything was restored. All those things that was taken away. And God gave him a new wife. God gave him new children. Other children, and his children he had returned. Do you see? A dead person knows nothing. But Job was alive on the inside. He said, I know my Redeemer liveth. Outside, though I'm perishing, yet my inward man is restored day by day. A dead person knows nothing. And there's a lot of dead people walking around today. In clothes, going around sad. But not you, not now, not you, not ever. This is Life University's Life Church, your global spiritual community, and I am your life host, the Reverend Dr. Dornicia Palmer-Wally, coming to you today. Fresh Thought LifeWords, your access to victory, knowing it, speaking it, claiming it. I pray it will be so. And in closing, let us come together in a grateful breath in this moment to thank life for allowing us to remember, for reminding us that we have access, Access, let us do that this coming week. Enter into your access and live the victorious life you were created to experience. Same time, same place next week. If you have enjoyed this segment, why not pass it on? Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment or a prayer request. Bless you.